September the 7th, flocks of waders, waterfowl and gulls. Seeing various different flocks of birds is another typical feature of the month. These may be just charming family parties of water rails at Bard's Wetland, or perhaps a roost of wagtails. Starling numbers are steadily increasing. Those seen earlier in the year have already moved south, or even west to Ireland. New arrivals are more likely to be coming from the north, or possibly the east. Beside the impressive flocks of starlings, there may be similar congregations of dunlin along the estuary. Other large flocks may include swifts, swallows, rooks, jackdaws. The most attractive and memorable flocks tend to be wagtails, yellowhammers, skylarks, linnets and goldfinches. The latter may even be moving in single-sex charms. Some of these birds, when they flock, chatter excitedly to each other, particularly linnets, which are capable of forming flocks of 100 or more. Swifts have already gone, but swallows and martins, being such later breeders, tend to be in transit this month. Some of their young from earlier broods may have already set off. It is fortunate they choose to migrate in daylight, as this allows us to see parties passing through places such as Beddington Lakes. Here, flocks of 100 or more sand martins are regularly recorded. Rarer, smaller flocks or family parties can include mistle thrush, stock dove, stonechat, kingfisher, and even blackbirds or tree sparrows. The latter also tend to favour the Beddington area. Away from it all on the sandy heaths northeast of London, red-legged partridges may have started to form small coveys. When a family is disturbed, they all tend to run off rather than explode into flight. The waders that choose to breed in the far, far north find that the summer is so short they are already being forced to move south. Their advantage was that food was abundant and predation was low, but it can mean some leave having not even had time to molt. This means that while journeying south, they may well stop off in London to feed and grow some new feathers before passing on. 20 or more different waders may now be seen regularly along the estuary, including sandpipers, godwits, plovers, greenshank, as well as smaller birds such as sanderling, knot, and perhaps even a wisp of snipe. They are mainly in small discrete parties, except for redshank and ringed plovers, which can form more substantial flocks. As some of these birds are also in transition between summer and winter plumage, they're often more difficult than usual to identify. Any problems are compounded by the presence of juveniles. Among the sandpipers, it is the common sandpiper that's most likely to be seen, but greenwood, petrel, and even curlew sandpipers can all make an appearance. There may also be sightings of curlew, wimble, and little stint. New ducks and geese have also started arriving. The largest numbers are usually tufted ducks, with armies of 500 or more appearing on lakes and reservoirs. They can look a ramshackle band, as many are still in eclipse, as are many mallards. On some of our reservoirs, shoveler, gadwall and widgeon can also reach good numbers, but teal prefer to congregate along the river in quieter places, such as Crossness and Barking Reach. Rarer ducks such as garganate, goldeneye and goosander occasionally make an appearance, as can scaup, scoter and long-tailed ducks in the open sea at the end of the estuary. Grebes such as great crested and the little grebe are also starting to turn up in unexpected places. There are the usual parties of grey-lag geese, but now it is worth looking for individual bean or pink-footed geese among them, and of course there are still the resident armies of Canada geese in London's parks. Among the raptors, the occasional osprey, marsh and hen harrier fly over London in September, and with luck a honey buzzard may be seen. Other great rarities recorded from time to time are ringoozle, wryneck, Ortolan bunting and spotted redshank. Even bluethroats are known to track down the east coast in September. There are also usually one or two rare gulls such as Mediterranean, little yellow-legged, ring-billed, Caspian or Sabines, as well as the more familiar kittiwake. One or two Arctic and great skuas occasionally can also be seen passing by the end of the estuary. Small flocks of terns drifting south along the coast diving together is another of the charming scenes associated with bird migration this month. Some decide to come through more central parts of London, especially sandwich, black, little and Arctic terns. The Arctic tern has one of the most astonishing migrations of any animal on the planet. Having nested within the Arctic Circle, It's now on its way to spend winter within the Antarctic Circle. These rare terns are usually seen as individuals. If close, the black tern can be recognized by its dark grey back, but from a distance it has a habit of hawking for insects over the surface of the water rather than diving in it, which can help give it away. However, it is the common tern that is more likely to be seen, especially around London's reservoirs. They tend to dive, or rather plunge into the water, from a lower height than other terns, and often at an angle. They are also seen hovering a lot.